Hi everyone, so today me and Alfie are going to be filming a YouTube video on tips for winter, so tips for your horses in winter and how to keep warm in winter and other various tips that you might find useful in winter with your horses. The reason we've decided to do this video is because it has been super wintry recently. It is nearly October, it's the 30th of September today, so we're not far away from the winter weather, and now it's turned to autumn, so we've decided that it is true hot chocolate weather at the moment. Since the nights are getting darker unfortunately, and we've had lots of windy weather recently and lots of rainy days, so Al's been living in his stable. As you know, he doesn't like rain. So we just thought we'd put some tips together what we find useful in winter, and I've written some of them down because I couldn't remember all the tips that I was talking about, so I've just written them down on here. So the first one I think that's really useful. In winter when it is really cold and your water troughs feed up outside or your buckets of water freeze, is to put an apple in your water, well, in the horse's water, and then it stops them from freezing, or if it does freeze with the apple in, it's really easy to break, so you just take the apple out and then you can break up the ice in it. Believe it or not, it helps to prevent water from freezing, so it's just something to try and see if you find it useful. Another one is to add hot water to your pony's water buckets. This kind of helps them stop from freezing, so if it has frozen in the morning, then you can pour the hot water on, it will defreeze. And sometimes it's nice if you have feed which you mix up with water. Sometimes it's nice if your horse is cold to put some hot water onto his feed. It's just a nice treat for him in the winter months. Another one is to add hot water to your pony's water buckets. This kind of helps them stop from freezing, so if it has frozen in the morning, then you can pour the hot water on, it will defreeze. And sometimes it's nice if you have feed which you mix up with water. Sometimes it's nice if your horse is cold to put some hot water onto his feed. It's just a nice treat for him in the winter months. Another tip that we found really useful is to put some baby oil on your horse's tail. Alf is super woolly and I have a gypsy cob called Paddy, so if you put the baby oil on, if you put it on your hands and then if you put it on the tail, it stops mud sticking to it in winter. So when you put your horses out and it's muddy weather, you'll find that the mud doesn't actually stick to their tails. So that's another tip that we found really useful. Another one we find useful is just to cut your horse's tail a little bit shorter. It's not really a tip, it's just a bit of advice I suppose. Is before winter sets in and it does get really muddy in fields, we know it does, horses do bog up fields, is just to cut some length off your horse's tail. We love them being long, but it's just nice to keep them nice and clean in winter, and it's nice for them as well because getting mud stuck in you isn't very nice. Another one that is really important, if your horse does come inside in winter, is, and you have like two stable doors, so you have like a lower bit and then a top bit like Alfie does. I'll show you now. So Alf's got like a two-part stable door, so he's got a top bit and a bottom bit, and you can see that there, so he's got a top bit and a bottom bit. The important thing is do not ever shut the top of the stable door. We saw on somebody's blog the other day that I had shut the stable door and the horse was quite anxious. It's really important that you don't. It's absolutely essential that he has enough ventilation, isn't Alfie, throughout winter, so keeping this top stable door pinned back helps keep ventilation with your horse, which is great for the air and around to breathe. What are you doing? Good boy. Another tip for yourself is, obviously we do love spending time with our horses in winter. It's just one for yourself, is to keep wrapped up warm. Like today I've got my beanie on, I've got a woolly top, and I've got my long boots on, so it's just nice to keep wrapped up warm because you don't want to go to your stables and then be cold. It's nice for you and to keep the experience nice is wrap up warm in winter. Another one is keep your pony happy in winter with some tasty toys. We absolutely love toys, and Alf is only young, he's only 4, and he can get quite bored in his stable, so we use, wherever he's put it, where have you put your ball? Oh, there it is. So you will have seen that we have treat balls for our ponies. This one's quite messy at the moment because Al's just been rolling it around his stable. But there's a special pocket there where you can put horse treats in. We just use it's normal pony feed nuts, and it's just his way of being fed. And then he'll roll it around his stable. You can hear him for hours doing it, so it's just nice for them to keep active and doing something and not being bored in their stables. Another great tip we found useful for winter, when I used to do shows with Paddy throughout the winter months, who's my gypsy cob, I would, when I brought him up to the stables, if it was too cold to bath in, which often it was, I found that vinegar, I read years ago that on a blog that people use vinegar to get away stable stains. So if you don't mind the smell, maybe rubbing a little bit of vinegar on a cloth and then just rubbing the stains, massaging it in, you'll find that they come out a lot easier. Just a few things to bear in mind is make sure that your horse isn't allergic to vinegar or anything inside it. Do not apply vinegar to any cuts or wounds. It's just to be used as like a stain remover. So that is our winter tips. If you've got any good tips, then share them with us. Either comment on the video below or tweet to us, which is at @AlfLittle on Twitter or at HannahRussell26. We want to know what your tips are. You know, it's all about sharing is caring, so it's nice to share tips with each other. And for more videos, just hit subscribe. For more videos on Little Alf, just go to our channel, which is www.littlealf.com. Bye.